Welcome to Hair Hero, the podcast where we dive deep into the minds of the best in the business to uncover what makes them tick and sometimes what makes them twitch. I'm your host, Ryan Whedon, founder of Masters of Balayage and creator of Masters Academy. Join me each week for impactful conversations with industry leaders, icons, influencers, and trendsetters. Get ready to be inspired, learn from the pros, and maybe even have a laugh or two. Because let's face it, if we can't have fun talking about hair, we're doing it wrong. Let's get started. Hey friends, let me jump in here real quick. Have you heard about our 3 world-famous certification courses? If balayage is your thing, we've got the Balayage Masters Program, or BMAP as our students like to call it. If blonding is your thing, we've got the Blonde Masters Certification course. And if extensions are your thing, we've got the Extension Masters Certification. We call these the trifecta of the world's highest earning specialties. That's because if you master just one of them, you'll be madly successful. But if you master all 3, you'll absolutely dominate the game. Charge what you want, work where you want, work when you want. All of these comprehensive programs fast-track your experience and make you an expert faster. From modern fundamentals all the way to advanced mastery with topics like full bleach-outs, zigzag foliage, and hybrid blonding, and with extension masters things like hidden placement, modern beadwork, and stitching, you'll gain years of education in just days. With hours of immersive video training, color theory, skill strategy, accountability, live training, not only will you feel completely transformed by the end of the program, as if you've accelerated through years of hard work, you'll also gain an unstoppable confidence to not just raise your prices in value, but to create the life you want as a certified specialist. You know that feeling you get when you return home after a hair show and for a few days you feel like you can do anything? Well, imagine feeling like that every single day without the feeling fading. Now that's what our programs give you. Try one, try both, or go all in and try all 3. Some of our best students have already taken the course multiple times. That's how good they are. Register now and see for yourself at www.mobnext.com. That's MOBNEXT.com. Mobnext.com, where hairstylists get ahead and stay ahead. Hey everybody, I'm going to be real with you today. Not that I'm not real with you, but I'm going to tell you something. Next week I have to get a colonoscopy. I'm at the age where I have to be put under for a colonoscopy. And I'm not worried about going under, being put under, and not coming back. I'm very healthy, and something would have to tragically go wrong for me to not come back from that. But to actually know that I'm at the age where I have to start having something go up there and look around for things that shouldn't be there, I can't believe I'm there. But I also want to just take a minute to thank all the all the medical advances in the world right now. And the older we get, the more advanced science and technology get, and the longer that we're all going to be able to live, because we're able to catch things earlier with screenings. We're able to catch cancer before it takes over our bodies in a lot of ways. Right now, it was just in past generations just too hard to avoid, but now we are actually finding ways to live longer, finding ways to detect diseases earlier, and those that can be cured and treated, we can take preemptive steps to make sure that they don't happen and don't take our lives earlier than we want. Now, I know this isn't probably the most exciting way to start a podcast. Ooh, something's going to go up my butt, and and I'm going to make sure nothing's there. But it's a reminder to everybody watching that if you're not putting your health in a priority state, if you're not watching it, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're just waiting till something happens to be reactive, that is not the way to live, because by the time you catch something, it might be too late. Now is the time. When was the last time you've been to the doctor? My brother hasn't been to the doctor in I don't even know how many years. I don't know if he's afraid to go. I don't know if he's just too macho to go. I don't know if I know he can afford it, but maybe some people are just afraid of like what doctors are going to find. And whether that's the case, maybe, But what if it's something so small that could be fixed early on, that if you had found it when it was at its infancy stage, you could have cured it, you could have had it removed, you could have dealt with it, medicated it, something. But by the time that it has progressed to a point of no return, it's just sad, because there's someone in my life right now, special, who has cancer, and it's not the kind of cancer that goes away. It's the kind of cancer that it's a life ender. And I don't want to get too far into that, but I'm not alone. People in our lives that we love, they get sick. Some of them recover, some of them don't. And in these last moments, these last years of our life, of our loved ones' lives, it's important that we look at who we are and how we're showing up in the world, and how we're showing up as a son, as a father, as a friend, as a leader, as a role model, so that we not only walk the talk, but that we are truly that person that we want to be when we look ahead in the future. We don't get bitter and angry when something bad happens to us. We find the light and we show it to others. Life is hard. I was listening to somebody the other day about why we're all waiting, why we're all taking our time in life, patience, sure, it's good to have patience on some things, but man, this is it. We have one shot at this. We have one life to live, and the years could be long, they could be short, but it's still, we have one shot at every age that we get to live. Before we know it, we're going to be later on in life, we're going to be looking back, if we have that opportunity to look back and say, wow, I either did what I said I was going to do and I'm proud of where I am, or I'm upset at the life that I left, the life that I could have given more to, the life that I could have loved more, the life that I could have shared more of myself with. But instead, I was stuck in a job that I hated. I was surrounding myself with people I didn't like. I was doing things I didn't love. That's not a life to live. That's not a life to be proud of. That's not a life to look back on and say, wow, I made it. I want to be at the end of my existence here on this planet and be able to look back and just spend those last moments charging through all those amazing memories and adventures in my mind, the time spent with people that I really loved and cared about, doing work that really meant something to me and impacted others, sharing love, sharing my spirit, sharing my energy with others, to leave some of me around, to leave a better place, to leave something special. And I think we all want to be special. I think we all are special, but many of our special gifts we hide from the world. We're afraid to share them because we don't want to be judged. And by having that fear of being judged, we never get to allow ourselves to shine. So I know this is kind of a weird podcast. It's just, I'm in a weird mood today. I woke up in kind of a funk. I have been staring at a computer screen all day long trying to make ends meet. And I'm excited for things that are coming. I'm super happy for where my life is going and the person that I'm becoming. But man, there are some days that you just don't want to get out of bed. There are some days when that either alarm goes off or you get a nudge from your kid at 4:30 in the morning asking if it's time to get up and can we go sit in the living room and watch TV, and I'm like, no, it's just too early. I love you, but you got to go back to bed. Daddy needs some sleep. And it's been years of that, years of not being able to sleep. And I know that I do cherish those memories, those moments with my kids. Every moment I get, every chance I get, I take a few beats and I appreciate those moments because I know that they're going to be fleeting. And when I look back as the years have already passed and I have kids that are already almost, one's 3 and one's almost 5, I'm like, how did that happen? I think more and more about the legacy that I leave behind. And having been someone that lost their father damn near the age that I am now, it's a weird feeling to think that as I still feel like a kid in a lot of ways, I've got some gray hair, but I still feel like a kid. And my wife's calling me right now. I wonder why I'm not picking up. She's probably going to call me back again. So I might have to get off this pretty quick here. But I just think like, wow, did he feel like a kid? Or did he feel like more of a man? Because when we think about our parents, we think of how adult they are. But I don't feel like an adult. I feel like I have adult responsibilities, but I don't feel like an adult. I just feel like I'm still trying to grow up. My body is aging faster than my mind is, which is a great thing, but it's also a scary thing. It also makes me realize that as I get older, things are going to get harder. So it's important to really focus on my health. Make sure I catch things early. Make sure I go to the dermatologist. If you haven't been to the dermatologist in a while, go to the dermatologist. I just found out I have cancer on my back. So it's skin cancer. It's a very slow forming one, so it's going to get removed. But it's one of those things that like you caught it really early. They're not worried about it at all. But to get skin cancer and if just to let it go, and imagine doing that to a point where it was something you could have avoided very easily years and years ago, but you just put it off. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take yourself seriously. Take your life seriously. Go out there, charge. I'm sorry about the vent session, but I love you all. Stay around people that support your journey. You are amazing. Be bold, be brave, be you. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Hair Hero. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us reach more listeners just like you. And don't forget to screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging us at Masters of Balayage. We'd love to see your posts and share them. Until next time, remember, be bold, be brave, be you. See you in the next episode.